Like we've had this juxtaposition almost of cowboys and mountain biking, right? And we didn't want to ride horses, so let's ride a bike.
In the beginning, when we started riding trails we knew on our motorbikes, we never really thought about hydration or nutrition, and we just got on our bikes and rode all day.
Oh, fall line, steep, rowdy.
That's what Williams Lake's best for. It's kind of like a bit of a rodeo ride. Commit and hope you make it to the bottom.
I mean, the riding styles changed a little bit. We were one of 8 pilot projects in 2005, 2006.
There wasn't really a platform to legalize trails. So we were in at ground zero. You know, they came in and tore everything out. We got to work with the province to steer a lot of the initiatives on legalizing trail.
The network slowly developed with this idea of being able to go around town.
Trails end at the brewery, and it's nice to be able to roll in and have fresh beer and good food and hang out with your friends.
Our vision statement is joy through beer. Kind of always had the idea of wanting to start a brewery in the back of my head, and something that the community needed. I think the flavor profile of Williams Lake is pretty diverse, really. Our Hillbilly Blonde is very popular, right? I call it our gateway beer. The rancher crowd kind of likes the branding there too. When I was planning on the brewery, I was thinking about mountain biking. We've named a lot of our beers after trails. I just like being able to create something that I can share with people and then watch them enjoy it.
Let's just ride bikes, have fun, and there's going to be a beer at the end. And it doesn't really get much better when you're on a nice day with friends.
Our land base is very dynamic. We have such a mix of forest types and dirt and some gnarly terrain features. We're big mountain without big mountain. I think that is really what makes riders in Kamloops very unique. Rough and tumble, ready to hit the ground, ready to hit big jumps, and not afraid to explore. We have a pretty good beer scene. Pretty good is an understatement. We have an unreal beer scene. I mean, you could pick any brewery in town and there's going to be a mountain bike connection.
I would say that you do get a huge diversity in the types of beers that are coming out of Kamloops.
It's cool that we can collectively work together but also have our own little focal points.
We all kind of can coexist. Everyone in this city makes awesome beer, makes good food. It's a blast.
Georgie, hey, Papa, come on. The dogs are really important to us here. Red Collar was named after our first family dog who always wore a red collar. She was like the inspiration for the name of the brewery, and all of the dogs since then have worn a red collar. We, as the Beardsell family, have always owned breweries. My parents went to Belgium and experienced Trappist-style breweries. So my dad really fell in love with that style of beer. You can see that demonstrated in our beer list. 9% or bust sort of mentality.
We try and focus on German and Belgian inspired beers. There's just something about the lager that's just so clean, crisp. There's very little to hide behind. In a way, it's kind of like a margarita pizza. In our mind, it's the true representation of the ability of a brewery. We see a lot of bikers come through. The bike scene is a big part of our clientele.
I think hitting flat drops on your hardtail and blowing up your pike really encapsulates the history of Kamloops.
The Kamloops bike scene is the richest scene of a community I've ever really seen anywhere. We have such a long history in bike riding, from XC all the way through to Freeride. And then we've been pushing municipal standards to have urban bike parks.
We're now working with the adaptive community for adaptive mountain bikers to try and introduce riders that way, making the trails a little bit more open to all.
It is very easy to get to a trailhead here, and that's quite uncommon for a larger city. The speed is really unique, the scenery is amazing, and even though it's dry and dusty, it actually has a ton of traction. So I think it's very confidence inspiring. A lot of people are looking for big booters, and we still have them. We have all of them.
We brew about 120 beers a year right now, and that'll nearly double next year. Take a culinary approach to brewing, so we just brew tons of weird beers every week. We don't have any flagships. Hazy IPAs and fruited sours is probably what we're the most known for. The beer basically never touches any form of oxygen. It just moves directly from a fermenter into a serving tank. We just pour it right into the pint glass. You're getting beer that's at most a week old. That just guarantees everyone gets the freshest sip possible.
Our philosophy is being super community oriented and really giving our guests something that's extreme local. I love sitting down and just chatting about beers and just learning what people want. That's why I do what I do, is to be able to connect with people one-on-one, and they help guide me into things that I should be brewing. The thing I love about the craft beer scene is thinking about how many labor hours you're actually supporting by purchasing a pint of craft beer versus a larger manufacturer where a lot of it is automated. You're literally supporting family-owned and operated businesses. We're heavily community involved. If there's any sort of festival where there's craft beer, you'll find us there.
The mountain biking is here, and we are here with beer, and they just kind of come together on their own.
There's quite a Williams Lake Kamloops connection. We get a lot of people coming back and forth, and almost all those trips somebody's hitting a brewery.
The idea that you'll share unflowers together is why you share a beer with someone. To connect over something we're both passionate about.